It's election season in India. It's going to be the eve of India's 70th birthday. It's good to know the milestones despite challenges, BJP and its privileges, and where Gen Z and their leaders are taking India. Today, we are looking at India's success stories at 77. When we look at where we have started, there's so much to talk about. 75 years ago, India made a tryst with destiny. At midnight hour, an independent India was born. It was drained, divided, but desperate to make it on its own. How has journey really been so far? I decided to start with economy. The British crown looted $45 trillion from India, right from raw materials, knowledge in Vedic books to Kohinoor diamond. They have cut the thumbs of weavers, decentralized India, leaving a dim future. The per capita income at the time of independence was 230 rupees. There was hunger, poverty. The task before India was to lift itself, and it did. There was rapid industrialization, 3 successful revolutions, green, white and blue. 75 years later, India is now again one of the leading economies. The per capita income raised to 2000 rupees. India has 3.3% of world GDP. Every product is being manufactured in India. We are making in India. Indian market is a market every MNC wants to enter. Instead of going after small things, India is smart. India has signed the East European Economic Corridor and G20 Summit, which has the potential to make India the number one exporter and economy in the world. This could be a nightmare for China. Which brings us to geopolitics. India successfully navigated Cold War. India became a political power in decolonizing Bangladesh. India dehyphenated Israel and Palestine. India reached out to Gulf and Africa with strategic partner relationships. India isolated Pakistan. When India and Pakistan had a dogfight about Kashmir, the world again supported India. India today is a leading voice in multilateral forum. India is the face of peace, the loudest voice of counterterrorism. None of it was easy. Right after independence, bad decisions like letting go a Security Council, and there were security challenges. 1948, Pakistan incursion into Kashmir. 1962, Indo-China War. 1999, the Kargil War, and the ongoing still in Ladakh. But on every such occasion, India has showed the world that it is capable of defending itself and won't tolerate if someone tries to redraw its map. India taught the world universal acceptance. You can see this man. Some of you may even recognize him. He's Winston Churchill, the former UK president. When he's leaving India, he said India is merely a geographical expression. It is no more a single country than the equator. It is often acceptable because India is widely diverse. 22 languages, 2000 dialects, numerous regions, castes, cultures, numerous climatic and geographical variances. But Churchill was wrong. India remained united and succeeded as a secular state and grown stronger. Of course, there have been ups and downs. Just after independence, it was tough keeping together. After Pakistan and India's partition, 1992 Babri Masjid demolition, 1984 Operation Blue Star, 1992 Operation Amritsar, 2002 Gujarat riots. But which country didn't have rough patches? Which country can claim to be this diverse? Then we have health. At the time of independence, there was rapid spread of communicable diseases like malaria and TB. India today declared itself as a polio-free country. The maternal deaths has fallen from 2000 to 103. The life expectancy grew from 32 years to 70 years today. India today is running largest vaccination programs. India is called the world's pharmacy, as it's exporting to more than 200 countries. I agree. Still, the advancement in medical equipment is poor. But when we look at where we started, this all makes sense. Then we have technology. India decided to go to space after just 17 years of independence. 17 years. India set up INCOSPAR in 1962. The IST rocket launched in 1963 from the town Tumba. The rocket parts were carried on bicycles and bullocks. This is how the journey began. Now India is a well-established space power. Rakesh Sharma joined USSR Space Center. Described India looks like Sare Jahan Se Acha. The smiling Buddha. You can see this video. India is the first non-UNSC member to test nuclear bombs. India did this despite of world's best efforts to stop this. The reports say that the CIA killed Indian scientists to stop roadblock nuclear journey. US even deployed a satellite over India to spy, so the work done at night and the equipment would be return origin by morning to avoid detection. Code names were used like White House, Buddha. The Buddha has smiled in 1974. which means the project is done, the project is working. India took world by surprise as declaring itself as nuclear power. But how did India achieve all this? From the very first day of independence, every Indian has right to vote. Population has grown, states were reorganized, but sanctity elections have never been compromised. They were chaotic, controversial, but held without fail. Some cast their vote and some vote they cast, but they did. There was 22-month emergency by Indira Gandhi. When there were attacks on democratic institutions, politicians were locked and the press was censored. But it did not last. That's India's story. It was never perfect. There's corruption, inefficiency, everything that we could keep complaining about. Yet, the democracy is delivered. Then we have literacy. In 1947, 4 out of 5 people couldn't read. India has now tremendously increased its literacy rate by ensuring schooling whereby Sarva Shiksha Abhiman and midday meals. Literacy made country as a talent pool in every single field. You can see how the engineering, commerce, government playgrounds, medical colleges number has tremendously increased. The universities are maintained well. India is winning gold medals, World Cups in the playground, and can look at moon with pride. India is winning beauty pageants. Second largest film industry, biggest music series in the world, second largest road infrastructure, best legal field and laws in the world despite of diversity, scientists, doctors, engineers, and top of all, we have rich cultural heritage. In the 75 years, there were tragedies like Bhopal gas, tsunamis, earthquakes. Cyclones surround many cities in India every year from all corners because of ocean on 3 sides of the country. But India is still being resilient and bouncing back stronger. There are religions, caste, cultural, race differences, but could still emerge law and constitution. We evaded untouchability completely with Article 14. Lower caste, minority, homosexuality are all valued equally as they deserve. There were some warnings have punched our nation, but we stood for ourselves like our Indian army did for us. Then we have a plan by Narendra Modi, saying the nation has to be developed and move forward by 2047. Remembering past achievements gives a spirit to go forward. He said that he can't bear to see our dreams shattered. He is here to fulfill our resolutions, dreams, and to stand by us as a companion and a part of our family. Our ancestors gave us freedom. There is a discipline and responsibility in freedom. It's election season in India. The country would keenly hold largest democratic exercise on earth.
Buster Prime Minister is gearing up for another election.
The ruling Janata Party has released a much-awaited manifesto for the Lok Sabha elections this year.
40 करोड़ देशवासियों के सपनों को हकीकत में बुनने के लिए हम ये संकल्प पत्र लेकर के आए हैं.
The Congress Party has released their own manifesto, calling it the Nyay Patra.
ये मैनिफेस्टो हिंदुस्तान की जनता ने बनाया है.
So in all, it's an important phase for India. As BJP won, these are the policies under the manifesto.
May not be the word. 50 million cases are stagnant across the justice system. Average case in the Supreme Court can take 13 and a half years to make it all the way.
The ratio of unsolved cases and the magistrates is miserable in India. 80% of the clog is due to trivial cases which actually don't need court. This is wasting the precious time of court. And in a report, it is stated that instead of 700 rupees fine, every year 7 lakh rupees of a taxpayer's money is being wasted. It's not like the legal system is not going to exist. It's like it will work through government departments. For example, if there is a clash between 2 parties about a seashore, one is arguing about its safety, aquatic life, and another is arguing about the development of the seaport. These 2 parties will be allowed to have reasonable discussions and come to a rational decision. This will be approved by government departments again. We have RERA, which accelerates the construction of real estates, homes, and Make in India. This will tremendously increase the demand for cement companies, because cement companies in India will be incredibly profited. Uniform Civil Code. If you are a Muslim woman or a member of Parsi community, the laws of inheritance will be different. To avoid this, they make a single legal framework to ensure equality in inheritance across genders, religions, and communities, and to govern every citizen by same set of civil codes. They also promise to bring one election for one nation. 986 million people will be voting this time. How does an average voter look like? Like this, the age between 18 to 30. India has the strongest tide of young energy. The number of Gen Z voters are more, but number of Gen Z leaders are something we can't count on. Recently, these Gen Z voters have changed the fates of Taiwan and USA's elections. Who are these Gen Z? Well, the youngest of Gen Z voters are still in their teenage. The oldest are few years into their careers. What makes them unique? They live with climate anxiety. They are digital natives. They grew up with internet as their major part of life. Their life is era of internet. Social media is their home. Their followers are their friends. But how to appeal to them? Well, obvious answer is against social media. That's where they spend their lives. Right from waking up with alarm, learning tiny and big through YouTube. They connect through Instagram, Facebook, movies in Netflix and theaters. But also, leaders didn't disappoint this time with old school campaigns. Parties spend crores on social media and influencers. Their promotions, of course, meme pages are included. Gen Z are termed as the coolest generation to exist on Earth yet. But the question is, will they make India proud as much as the millennials did? Yes, for sure. As youngsters, we have all power and opportunity. Well, I don't say we all have to do rocket science or politics necessarily. Whichever field you are in, business, law, arts, make sure it is worth doing and serving your country as your tribute. To see what is correct and not doing it is a lack of courage. Thank you guys.